Welcome everybody, here's your Strategy Wolf, and welcome back to Strategic Command American Civil War. Welcome back to our Conquest of Mexico versus Old Crow Balthazor, and welcome back to our last turn. This great project, my first YouTube multiplayer joint project, is ending with this very one. So we shall do what we can do in the last moves. We have been a little bit desperate around Mexico City, trying to break through the entrenched Mexicans, but suffered heavy losses in last turn, so it would be kind of a miracle from my perspective if we manage to take the city. Nevertheless, we're gonna try the best and see how we can finish off this very decently. Maybe have some last words about the game, but I don't know, maybe I'm gonna have, or I guess I'm going to have a more like clear overall view recap or something at the end of the very story. We shall see. Anyways, let's not waste any time and get in, watch the replay together. Ah, come on. Is Taylor now suffering? Ah, come on. Okay, I really don't want him to die right now because just I've been so aggressive. I mean, would be well deserved to some extent, but no. And still, I'm angry how easily the enemy, this regulars, sure these irregulars or not, but still, I'm a little bit annoyed how easily the enemy deals damage to us again. And I feel like there's... But once again, I don't want to grump around here at this point. Well done by the enemy, and here he also just tosses everything. What? What? This regiment with 2 strength destroyed our 3 strength regiment? This is insane. Come on, Taylor, survive. He's trying everything else. He's really trying everything to take out Taylor, but no. Won't happen here. Was this an ambush? I'm not sure, no. Yeah, this is just for prestige in the end, I don't know. Let's see. Regiment destroyed. Yeah, this one is undeserved in my opinion. Oh, maybe we can't do anything more. Hell of a match. Yeah, indeed. Okay, maybe I'm just having this victory screen in the end, and there's actually no big of a deal of stuff to do. Minor victory. Okay, I thought we had the time to actually move things. No, we don't. Alrighty, December 30th, 1848. Okay, I didn't know it was the last turn last time, so we have the full opened up map. It has been the hell of a match. Yeah, I mean, he had the last turn with all these damaged units. Now I wouldn't have had no chance of taking Mexico City this very turn. Over time, maybe, yeah, grinding them down, of course, with these losses. Otherwise, but to be honest, I wouldn't have positioned Taylor or like this army so offensively if it wasn't for the time pressure. I guess I can't write anymore anyway, so I will write him. I will write OCB, and maybe he's watching this one. I'm gonna have a definitely look at his recap episode. So maybe let's actually make this one the very recap episode, and let's go a little bit more spontaneously, since, yeah, I think I can do it from my brain. There's not too much depth needed. So let's have a quick look, let's recap a little bit on how this went. So I guess since the instruction manual told us that in the beginning the enemy is a little bit more superior around here and we have to wait until we get reinforcements. We started here around Port Isabel quite defensively. There was this shuffling around Rio Grande, cavalry skirmishes and so forth, and some scouting into Nuevo Leon. However, the enemy didn't really get offensive at all. I kind of expected them to become, like, at least try to push a bit in the beginnings to use the superiority in numbers, but an enemy never showed up, and once we got prepared, we had Taylor following, was it Taylor? I think so, yeah. Following with his growing army, ever-growing army here to Chihuahua, Monterrey, where we managed to push out the enemy surprisingly early, and then we had this infamous standoff here at like Saltillo, Buena Vista, where originally this bloody battle took place, or historically speaking. And this was for sure, it might have been too long. Yeah, one could argue that I might have rather like deducted units way quicker to the south, and not because in the end, having this stalemate up here I don't know who profited in the end. It's really hard to tell, since I feel like there was a huge Mexican army also bound up here that could not have been moved somewhere south. So, and it enabled us to actually exploit here the entire Tamaulipas and yeah, up down here to Tampico in the end, where we had the first bigger resistance starting here in these swamps. But I feel like this standoff here enabled us to seize these lands pretty uncontested. Well, I mean, this is the flatland, so also doesn't make a lot of sense for the enemy to defend over here. Yeah, but you might argue that we spent too much time over here. Yeah, next time I might have acted differently, but I was scared, especially since I didn't know the scenario that the enemy might come back and strike at Monterrey. So, yeah, you didn't want to give it up too easily. So in the next, I think the next phase, this was mainly 46. But yeah, look it up in the playlist if you like want to go for the exactly detailed plan. Yeah, I think this was most of 46 that we spent up like being up here and then exploiting down here. I don't know when the Battle of Tampico actually started, where there was we caught the. I think the enemy was a little bit surprised how strong Scott came in down here, since we didn't land in Veracruz in 47, but rather marched down here to Tampico. However, in the aftermath, I think I've gotten a little bit too greedy when I purchased the enemy out here, and I really wanted to deal some decisive blow and destroy a couple of units, since the enemy was vulnerable. But he managed to get out nicely here to the mountains, and I think in basically from Zacualtipan to Pacucha, this is the area where we lost. We have a minor victory, but where we lost the major victory, let's say, since yeah, here the enemy dealt us some blows to our regulars. We had too high losses. We were maybe a little bit too impatient. Something I think I absolutely should have done is like elite reinforcement, since in the end, yeah, this is one of my main problems, that just by destroying my units down here, I kind of didn't have the opportunity to bring in sufficient reinforcements due to build limits and the length of our supply routes, which is cool that this is being displayed. But this is one of the major problems like that I have with the beloved strategic command series, is where the difference is in my opinion between destroyed units and reinforcing from 1 to 10 in one turn. You know, it's like, yeah, of course you have this stuff and the main structural composition of a unit, I guess, that's being displayed also in the 1. And if it's gone, you need to do this again. However, this scenario, especially since we have the lower purchase limits, and yeah, I know by Nibblechomp already answered to when I asked about the regulars, and I do understand, yeah, the regulars, that they shouldn't be rebuilt, since yeah, it was mainly volunteers, but I don't know, I still feel like maybe access to more volunteers would be useful. Or next time I would play it with, let's say, unrestricted or with soft caps. And the enemy also, I mean, would also be able to build more, so if the MPP available. But in the end, it was a little bit annoying that for the last 10 turns, I basically had such a surplus of MPP that I really couldn't use that well. It is what it is, and I'm getting a little bit distracted again. So basically this was happening. We pushed down in 47. Up here we had the skirmishes always here in the mountain areas. I think we tried when we took 14 pretty early because I wanted to, and I still think this was a smart move of mine, since I kind of blocked off this quick route for the enemy retreat, so the enemy had to take the long way. Maybe therefore preventing a way stronger defense down here. Who knows? But still, the enemy always managed to have units everywhere, which annoyed me, since I thought we had more units and quick units, and I wanted to exploit empty mountain paths, which didn't really work that well. I mean, getting here to Fresnillo was pretty late. San Luis Potosí was later than, I mean, planned, who knows, or yeah. I thought at some point at the end of 47, once basically the Saltillo standoff, or the Saltillo situation was solved when the enemy retreated, I thought I might be quicker and overrun them here in this area and threaten Mexico a little bit harder from the north. I mean, in the end, we partially did, but I mean, we would be probably like in this area if I wouldn't have pushed this recklessly down here. So, yeah, this didn't turn out that well as I was hoping for sometimes. Yeah, there was always these tiny setbacks, and in the end, it's in this mountainous terrain. It's basically just one regiment somewhere is enough to defend like a brigade, and you can't really surround them or anything. So this is really beneficial and really, really hard to take. Yeah, and then basically from 47 to 48, Scott was pushing up here to Mexico City, in this terrible terrain through Querétaro and no, it's Querétaro, right? Or is it here Mexico even? I guess it's partially even Mexico already. And yeah, we had 2 high losses. I should have acted more carefully. Maybe we should have reinforced here and there. But yeah, sometimes it's short-term decisions, greed, and so forth that make you do things that you didn't plan to do. But well, in the end, I mean, having a look at this picture, it's kind of vulnerable. I feel like we have a surrounding. I mean, this is like we have, let's call them guerrilleros, that we have partisans, filthy terrorists that we have in the back, but we surrounded them, and now yeah, the enemy looks pretty beat. Not beat in terms of his, not that many units actually anymore, but yeah, it's also the turn where he didn't care anymore, it's sure. So of course it's possible, but it was definitely a close one in the end. So yeah, maybe there's not too much to analyze in the end at all. So guys, I don't know what comes to your mind. Of course, let me know. I mean, our Veracruz landing at 48 with gains was in the end quite easy going. We didn't need that many units. This was, yeah, we wanted to take it, we took it. However, I still wonder what happens if somebody, because OCB destroyed the fortress, if you really like dissolve it and put in a brigade, for example. I still see almost no chance for the American to the US player to take it from a fortified brigade here without land supply from the north and anything. So this is pretty tough, and yeah, 1 brigade is not that much to spare. I'm not sure. So this is something I think about, and yeah, by Nibblejump, I mentioned it before. I feel like these the situation here that you can't use the Navy to attack Veracruz, for example, it's a little bit sad. I don't know, to be honest, the exact historical role model, but it would be nice maybe if the map would be moved so Veracruz could be fired at least from ships. This would make the same with other ports maybe, since yeah, and this is the other thing, yeah, the Navy, it's nice that it's being displayed. And it's okay that you don't have the massive impact, but it wasn't the manual. I kind of relied more. I thought I would use the Navy way more. In the aftermath, I would have basically transferred like 4 or 5 ships. They turn 1 to the Pacific to raid this line. And because I don't know how many the enemy could potentially build, but in the end, you don't need them. And so the strategic position is very low at the moment, in my opinion, once you know the scenario. So this might be just some ideas for changes or alterations apart from this. By the way, thank you very much, Byte Nibblechomp, for being so close on this Let's Play and giving your feedback and info and comments so often. And yeah, once I'm already on the thank you section, since yeah, I'm doing it spontaneously, this recap, so sorry for the mess in my brain, but yeah, thank you very much, LS, and I now forgot the number. So you've been writing this wonderful content, these wonderful papers, every single episode. So I'm really impressed, and even though sometimes I didn't react super on time, since here and there my normal life is keeping me occupied as well. So I really highly I'm grateful for this work, and thank you in general for participating in the comments and so forth to this Let's Play. I guess it makes always things a little bit nicer if you get more feedback. So sure, this is for a lot of people like coming from OCB's community also, I guess, and enjoying both our Let's Plays. Thank you guys for commenting, letting me know your stuff and so forth. I'm really happy for the growing participation, and it makes me, yeah, makes me questioning my Let's Playing time less, let's say, but no, I'm not questioning it. Yeah, apart from this, I mean, yeah, what I can't just keep on stressing the fact that I really feel like that one of the greatest factors for us, or for me, was not knowing the scenario. So, and also not knowing the war, the conflict, the historical one that well. Since, for example, for World War II, you always have the thing that you have kind of an expected idea of how World War II might go, which might be the theaters and so forth. And when things go differently or like seem unrealistic, then it gives a bad touch. apart from, but people kind of know what's coming, you know, to some extent at least. And here I feel like both of us didn't really have a clue, which made the importance of the reconnaissance and so forth way more important, the ambushes, like using the terrain a bit and so forth. So really, really interesting play. So I really enjoyed this a lot. It was great fun for me. And yeah, when I thanked already everybody again, like thanks a lot to OCB, yeah, for first of all asking me to start playing. With this rando like me that just put some stuff on YouTube. And apart from you, yeah, it was just a great experience playing him, and also the conversations with him is always great. So high respect and thank you very much. Yeah, and in the end, despite my whining and so forth, considering we gained, yeah, of course, in the superior role, but we've gained the minor victory, and OCB is an absolute, I don't know if he's like the veteran number one. He's like, I think to other people he's referring to Dude Man or so as like absolute experts, and I see that with it. I'm not a rule expert in all details and so forth, but I try my best and try to play from my guts, and I feel like, and definitely OCB is minimum doing that, if not on an extremely high level. So we can't complain in the end about the result. At least I think so. And yeah, before we end this, and I hope I really haven't forgotten anything, let's go through the the reports. As you see, Mexico has been catching up with our increasing losses, but yeah, and once again, I feel like at least in the last 5 turns, a lot of these losses wouldn't have occurred under normal setups, and I just went crazy. Here we go, you can see the total losses. Yeah, we definitely lost a lot of the brigades and regulars in the end. The enemy just lost tons of these regiments. We also lost 3 cav brigades. Wow. So our total losses are definitely higher. Yeah, but sometimes... and once again, my whining starts again. I felt like sometimes I couldn't really destroy or shatter enemy units that were on 1 or 2 or here and there, and they retreated. I mean, it happened for the enemy as well. So... it's hard to say. Is it well deserved? I'm not sure. Losses from the convoys, as my rating went up. Maybe it could have been done earlier. Let's have a quick look at the MPPs. He lost 12,000 or 14. Yeah, now in the end my losses went up way higher than his. But again, I attacked kind of recklessly. So at a long time in the mid game, I was lower in the losses actually, and had a higher income. So, yeah. The enemy had way less to spend on, no. Look at the fighting spirits, yeah. Both have decreased quite dramatically recently. And apart from this, there's not so much to have a look at, yeah. And we lost too many things. I think we had too high losses in the end. This, yeah. In the beginning, we were doing very, very well, I feel like, because I was careful, but then time pressure or greed made me go hard, and then these losses that occurred basically took out the speed. So it rather should have paused, maybe freshed up to elite reinforcement and so forth, and then attacked hard. But I felt like pressured, and I didn't want the enemy to be able to set up defenses in an ordered way. But he managed to do so anyways. He had kind of a surprisingly structured retreat that costed us many lives or units. Maybe I should have stopped here and then went to a different approach. Guys, yeah, I think I'm at the end of my quick analysis. Let me know what you think, and of course, yeah, operational mistakes also have influenced this. But once again, overall, I'm super happy about this very campaign. I had great fun, great interaction with you guys in the comments, and also, of course, great interaction and fun with OCB. So I hope this won't be the last of our games. There will be a short pause in this, and of course then I don't know how this affects my content, the regular content uploads. I guess I'm gonna give you anyways a channel news soon, since the last one has been a while, and I don't know when a new Let's Play versus OCB would start and so forth. Anyhow, I have it on my mind, and I'm definitely gonna pressure him. So we shall see when this is occurring. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you would like to see. We have a kind of a concrete plan already what our next idea would be to do. However, still, of course, I'm very much open for ideas, suggestions, and so forth. And if you can't get enough of my content, which of course best case would be the case, then in the meantime you can also check out the other games I've been playing. Apart from Strategic Command, would be lovely. And if you're still here at this point and you haven't left me a like and subscription, then it's definitely time to do so, since you might have enjoyed my content, and it would be amazing if you honor me with this little support that helps me a lot and keeps me going. So thank you very much for this. Then yeah, most importantly, see you next time in the next projects, other Let's Plays and so forth, or on Twitch. And thank you so much for watching. Bye, your Strategy Wolf.